Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone in today's class for the first intermediate grade. Our textbook is Super Goal 2 and today we'll be learning unit What Do You Do? And the lesson is Writing and Project. This lesson will be presented by me, teacher Mazen Al-Harbi, and the sign language by Mr. Fawaz Al-Agil. So let's begin. Our objectives in today's lesson that we hope at the end of this lesson you will be able to, number one, read the text for specific information, and number two, use personal notes to write about their dream job or your dream job, and number three, to differentiate between the use of because and so, and also to differentiate between the use of and but. So let's begin. A quick revision on our last lesson. Last lesson, we have an interesting reading text that is called Follow Your Dream. Here, where we have read about someone named Umar Hamdan, who wants to be a professional football player. And also it says here that Umar wants to join a school, Al-Watani school, because he likes that team, and also that he likes for the coach to help him in becoming the professional player that he dreamed to be. And also, he has a chance to learn the techniques of football and how to work as a team. And he has a chance also to meet their favorite star players at that school. And also, we have read that his parents do not like him to be a professional football player. As they want him to go to a university, they said football is okay, but you need to think about your future because not many people can become a professional football player, and also being a football player is a short career. But even though that, still Umar wants to follow his dream. So this is the text that we have read last time, and also we have a question to discuss, a very interesting one. That question was, do you agree or disagree with Umar's parents? Do you agree with them when they said that you don't have to complete or to be a professional football player, as it is a very short career and you can 100% be sure that you will be professional? Do you agree that professional or being a professional football player is a good job, or you disagree? So whether you agree or whether you disagree, you give reason. You say why you agree, why you disagree. And also, and is it easy to become a professional football player? This is also one of the questions that we have discussed in our last reading text. Now, as for today, we're going to read a similar text. But this time, not only we're going to read it, but also we're going to learn the writing techniques that is used in this text. And also we're going to learn some words about words that we call them the connectors, that connect between sentences and connect between ideas. So here on page 9, we have a text called, we're going to read about Khalid's dream job, and we're going to answer some questions that follow this text. So, I'm going to read this text twice. The first time, you only listen for listening. Listen to me while I read. And the second time, you listen to me and also follow while you listen. So, let's begin. People always ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I tell them that I want to be a teacher. Then they ask me, why? Well, my parents are teachers and they are very happy with their jobs. My father teaches math at college and my mother teaches at a primary school. But I want to be a science teacher at a high school. I'm really interested in chemistry and physics, and I like to do experiments. I like to help my younger brothers with their homework, so I think I can be a good teacher. When I explain things to them, they usually understand. A teacher's job is important because education is important. It is a difficult job sometimes, but it is rewarding when students learn from you. So now I'm going to read the text for the last time, but this time you try to follow with me while you listen. So let's read it again. People always ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I tell them that I want to be a teacher. Then they ask me, why? Well, my parents are teachers, and they are very happy with their jobs. My father teaches math at a college, and my mother teaches at a primary school. But I want to be a science teacher at a high school. I'm really interested in chemistry and physics, and I like to do experiments. I like to help my younger brothers with their homework. So I think I can be a good teacher. When I explain things to them, they usually understand. A teacher's job is important because education is important. It is a difficult job sometimes, but it is rewarding when students learn from you. So this is the text about Khalid's dream job, and he said in his text that he wants to be a teacher in the future because his parents are also teachers. And he also said how he liked to help his brothers and how he is interested in chemistry and physics, and that's why he wants to teach it. So now, here we have a couple of questions about this reading that we need to answer it together. After this, we're going to learn how to write our own writing into writing the same text as Khalid. So, the 5 questions are, number 1, what does grow up mean? What does grow up mean? And also number 2, why does Khalid want to be a teacher? What is the reason for Khalid to be a teacher? And also, what does Khalid want to teach and why? And number 4, why do you think he says it's difficult job sometimes? And the 5th question, what do you think rewarding means? So let's begin with the first question. What does grow up mean? Grow up means to become an adult, to become older. This is what grow up mean. So from childhood to young age until adult, this is, or these stages or this development, we call it growing up, to grow up. And also, why does Khalid want to be a teacher? He mentioned in the text why. So he wants to be a teacher because his parents are teachers and they are happy with their jobs. So he also wants to be a teacher. Number 3, what does Khalid want to teach and why? What subject does Khalid want to teach? The subject is he wants to teach sciences because he is interested in chemistry and physics. And why? Because he likes to do different scientific experiments. This is why Khalid likes to be a science teacher. And number 4, why do you think he says it's difficult job sometimes? Why teaching is difficult? Well, we have many reasons for this, but we can say that it's not an easy job. It is challenging. It needs to be updated with the new technologies, with the new resources, and also new different learning tools for the students. So it is not an easy job. It's challenging and require a lot of effort. Number 5, what do you think rewarding means? When Khalid says that teaching job is rewarding, what do we mean by the word rewarding? Rewarding means satisfying. It makes you feel good when you see students learn from you. This is what do you mean by the word rewarding. Rewarding and pleasing, all of these means that something makes you feel good for helping the students to learn from you. So this is the text about Khalid. Before we go in writing our own text, we have a couple of notes about writing. We need to learn about them now before we have our own text. The first one is that we use the word because to explain why, to explain the reason, and we use the word so to explain a result. And now I'm going to show you a couple of examples. The first one is, look at this sentence. I want to be a pilot because I am interested in planes. I want to be a pilot. So this is the sentence. I want to be a pilot. Okay, why do you want to be a pilot? What is the reason for you to be a pilot? He said the reason, because I am interested in planes. So this phrase, because I am interested in planes, this phrase shows a reason. Shows a reason. So this is a reason behind him wanting to be a pilot. So we start, if you want to state our reason, if you want to say our reason, we started the sentence by the word because. Another sentence from Khalid text. Khalid said, a teacher's job is important. But why is it important? Why a teacher's job is important? He said, because education is important. So here, this phrase, because education is important, it shows a reason. This phrase shows a reason. So again, we use because to explain why, to show a reason. So this is why would we use because. We use it to give a reason behind any phrase we have mentioned before. Also, the other type we have for today is so. We use so to explain a result. For example, I am interested in planes. I am interested in planes. It means I like planes. And the result behind me liking planes, I want to be a pilot. So this is how can we use or why we use the phrase so. We use it to explain or to show a result or a consequence. So here we have this phrase, I am interested in planes. I love planes. I like planes. And so, as a result of me loving the planes, I want to be a pilot. So, the word so here shows a result of the sentence that is mentioned before. And here we can have another example from Khalid's text. The example is, I like when Khalid said, I like to help my younger brothers with their homework. So, I think I can be a good teacher. So, Khalid says, I like to help my younger brother with their homework. The result of me helping them in their homework make me think, as a result, make me think that I can be a good teacher. So here also we use the word so to show a consequence or to show a result. Also, another ideas that we need to mention here, or another words that we need to consider before writing our own text is the connectors and but. So let's begin with the first one. We use and to connect similar ideas that are similar, and we use but to connect contrasting ideas that are not similar. Let's show examples with and. The first one, I really like chemistry and physics. So here we use and to connect two similar ideas. The first one is chemistry and the second one is physics. All of them or both of them is science. So since they are similar, we use the word and. Another example, my parents are teachers and they are happy. So here we have two similar ideas. They are teachers and they are happy. And here we use the connector and to connect between those two ideas. The third example is, my father teaches math at a college and my mother teaches at a primary school. So here we have two similar ideas. He talked about what does his father do and what does his mother do, and he connect them with the word and. So we use and to connect similar ideas that are the same. On the other hand, we have the word but. and we use but to connect words that are not the same. And here I'm going to show you some examples. Number one, I really like chemistry and physics, but I don't like history. So here we use and to connect similar ideas, chemistry and physics. The idea was to like a subject, okay? But when he talk about a different idea that is opposite of this one, he uses but. But I don't like history. Another example from Khalid's text, he said, my mother teaches at a primary school, but I want to be a science teacher at a high school. So here we have two different ideas. The first idea, teaching at primary school. The second idea is teaching at a high school. So those are different ideas, not similar. This is why we use but. The third example we have, it is a difficult job sometimes, but it is rewarding. Here also we have two different ideas. The first one is that the job is difficult, it is tough, and the other one is that it is rewarding. It makes you feel good. So these are two contrasting ideas, two different ideas, and this is why we used the word but. So these are a very important notes that we need to consider in order to write our own text. And now moving to the next exercise we have, which is write notes about your dream job in the chart. So as we have read about Khalid's dream job, here we have a table that we need to write a couple of notes on this table in order to have an idea about writing our own text. Let's identify what is written in this table. The first one says, my dream job. So here you should talk or you should write about your dream job. The second one is, why I like this job. Here you have three options. You can mention all the three options or you can mention one or two. It's up to you. So give reason on why. Why do you like this job? And next we have why I think I can do this job. Tell us why you can do this job. And also one thing that you don't like about it. So of course in every job there is something that people don't feel good with, so just write it down. So here I have written an example based on Khalid's text. My dream job will be, I dream to be a teacher. And why I like this job based on Khalid's text, he mentioned reason like I like to help students, because I like to help students, because I like to do experiments, scientific experiments, and also because teaching is rewarding. And to answer the third question, why I think I can do this job, what are the reasons for me to think that I can be a teacher? Because I am interested in sciences, because I like to help people, because I help my brothers in doing homework. So you have a lot of reasons you can mention. And also one thing that I don't like about it, as we have said in answering the questions about Khalid's text, it is challenging and need to be up to date with new technologies for teaching. So here I have wrote an example or a couple of answers that I will use in writing my own text. And you can use them or use similar ideas to write your own text. So write about your dream job, use the note we have mentioned here, use the notes from the chart and ideas from this unit. So either you can use this chart or you can use ideas you have already mentioned or you have already read in this unit. So I have wrote a symbol, a short text. Let's read it together. My dream job is to become a science teacher. I like to do different experiments with my students and help them with their homework. It is a challenging job, but I can do well because I am interested in sciences. So this is a very short text based on the notes that I have written before and also based on what I have read from Khalid's text. You can also write similar text to this or you can use some ideas that I have wrote here and write your own text. And now, as a project, tell us, what do you think? What are the good and bad jobs? Make a list like this one to compare in a group and decide on the best and worst job. So here, you can have a list similar to this. You can make a table and write the good jobs and also the bad jobs. And you decide what is good about this one and what is bad about this one in a group, maybe with a friend or a classmate or even a family member, and then you can decide what is your dream job. And don't forget, when you finish, to go back on the workbook on page 92, and because we have an additional reading and writing practices that are interesting in order for you to decide your dream job. Now, we have reached the end of this lesson. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.